All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and they act on the stage like, I don't know, I was never really good at Shakespeare. I had it written down somewhere, but I lost my notes. I had it in with a box of tapes that's been sitting on my closet floor for a year now. See, I was making a video about how we act differently around different people. It was a perfect quote, but I don't know, I just wasn't really ready. I was going through a lot of changes in my life, and now I think I'm ready to finish this thing, or should I say begin it.
So what are you guys doing?
Oh, we're making a documentary about images, so figured it was a good idea to get my hair cut before we started shooting.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How do you want to cut?
Just the same, a little shorter.
Yeah, you've been coming in here for a long time.
Yeah, ever since I moved down to Kissimmee.
Yeah, I remember when you first got here trying to adjust to Kissimmee.
Trying to adjust to Kissimmee, yeah, that's right. What a place. I'll introduce you in a minute, but first I want to explain why I wasn't able to finish this video last year. I know I told myself that I was too busy and couldn't afford the equipment. Probably true, but I know now that I was going through something pretty tough. I felt like a newborn, really. I had just moved down here, and I was trying to fit in desperately with anybody I could meet. And how'd I get in this mess? Well, let me explain. I grew up in one town, State College, Pennsylvania. And when I was a kid, we moved once, but it was only a few blocks, so it doesn't really count. To make a long story short, I spent the first 22 years of my life there. I went to college there, I got married there, and really, I wanted to get out. Literally, by looking at a map of the United States, I picked sunny Florida.
So freight train, blow your whistle as you travel on down the line. I'm going away, I'm leaving today. Yes, I'm going, but I ain't coming back. Well, I'm going, but I ain't coming back.
Now, don't get too comfortable in your seats. It wasn't an exciting little adventure as I thought it might be. If I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd make sure that I at least had a job when I moved down here, or maybe even seen the place. Really, the only reason I moved to Kissimmee, Florida was the fact that it was close to Disney World, the land of opportunity. But what happened when I got here? The land of opportunity had a hiring freeze. Now this is what I saw as I drove into my new hometown of Kissimmee. Oh my gosh. Looking on the bright side, I didn't have to go far if I wanted fast food. I definitely did not feel at home, but I didn't really feel like any of the tourists there either. There was some kind of imminent doom in the town. I slowly began to go out and find out what the place is really like. What type of town do you think Kissimmee is?
Well, we've only been here 2 days, but Kissimmee looks like a friendly, typical American town.
I'm out here, a working man on the street, trying to hustle a buck from these tourists, you know?
As you can tell, I was kind of having a difficult time trying to fit in. Especially having an out-of-state plate on the car. Gosh, I almost got killed every day. I needed to know the back roads of Kissimmee, so I ventured off the main highway, but I only found myself lost and disoriented.
I think Kissimmee sucks. It's a lot of laid-back, redneck people. You know, people come around, they look at you if you're from up north. A lot of people don't even want to bother with you. Once they know you're from up north, they turn around and walk away from you.
No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't fit in. I mean, how could I? I didn't have a job. I didn't have any friends. I did have plenty of time to perfect a nasty habit I learned well in college. You know, in college it was easy. I never really had to worry about fitting in. I always had friends that I had known from previous years. I'd always been living in the same town. My biggest concern was my image. Okay, I hit rock bottom. I was pretty depressed. I had been stripped of everything except for the love of my wife, which did keep me going. How'd it work out? Well, Disney still wouldn't let me in, but I eventually did get my first job. I was duplicating the Bible on cassette for $4 an hour. Not exactly my resume objective. I cut my hair and wore more conservative clothes. I was a little bit nervous about fitting in. Doris, you were one of the first people I met when I had just moved away from my parents' house. And I'm wondering, what type of person did you think I was when I was working with you at Christian Duplications?
Kind of a person you are. You're good. You're kind. You're sweet.
Sweet. Oh my gosh, give me a break. This wouldn't go over well with the guys up north. Oh, Rob, you're so sweet.
Conservative, but
No,
sensible.
no, definitely liberal.
You think I'm liberal, and there's a lady, Doris, saying that I'm conservative, and you're saying I'm liberal.
There ain't no way, man.
I met Don at a party down here. He was one of my first social friends. I knew he'd have a different opinion.
Definitely the party dog, man.
Okay, this is bad. Wait a minute. She's saying I'm conservative.
Like if she would have stand there,
I mean,
if she would have stand there, what'd you go? Yeah, rough them up.
so,
You know,
but wait a minute. Is that bad? I mean, basically, she's saying this thing that I'm real conservative, and you're
No.
But I mean, oh wait a minute. Am I conning her? You know?
No way, man. Because I act differently at work than I do at home, man.
I don't buy it. Of course we're going to be acting differently. We're not going to be drinking beer. So what was happening in my life about this time? Well, I quit my job with Doris, couldn't stand it anymore. Good news is I finally got a job working for Disney. Well, you have to start somewhere. After a few weeks of paying my dues to the company, I finally transferred to the video department. I had to get my new manager on tape. I knew he wouldn't think of me as sweet. Last night I was at a party talking to a friend of mine, and he was talking about how we act differently at work than we do at home. I tend to agree with it. There's even a sociologist, Irving Goffman, who has a theory about it. It's a dramaturgical metaphor that life is a stage, and we're all actors. We play different roles when we react with different people. More or less, I'm just wondering what type of a role I play at work.
To us in the department, to myself and the other managers, you come off as very professional, serious. You've been able to pick up things very quickly, very competent, somewhat quiet. You don't goof around as much as some of the other people in the department, at least not when we're there.
In other words, I act like a nerd. Oh great, this is even worse than being sweet. I had to form a new image at work, and slowly I did. Dave and I got to know each other better after a little while, and he got to see another side of me.
When I first met you, I really did. I thought you was like super straight, Joe College. Only thing you didn't have the pocket protector. The only thing you was lacking, you didn't have the pocket protector.
So you think I should have been wearing a pocket protector?
With the tape on your, if you had glasses with the tape right there on the. No, I really had a whole different opinion of you when I first met you, because, and then when I guess turning point for me was when we did the AV party and we played in the band together. And, had a few beers and kicked back, and out of uniform, so to speak. It was a lot different. You're a lot different person. 360 degrees difference than at work, really, no doubt.
How so? Duh, I think it's pretty obvious. Take this shot, for example. Yeah, now see, that's the problem. I feel like a chameleon or something, just blending in with whoever I'm around, phony or something. Phony is right. If all the world's a stage, I'm merely a bad actor. However, Dave did have an honest answer.
No, I wouldn't feel bad about that. That's not really being phony. It's just it's going with the flow. It's, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, whatever. You're just going along with everything else. I don't think it's really phony, though.
Last year when I cut this thing, I was embarrassed to watch it. I think it hit just too close to home. I really thought I was a local, but I wasn't. Even now, I'm still trying to get used to Kissimmee. So what am I up to these days? Well, Dave quit Disney, and I don't hang out with Doris and Don anymore. Even at work, I'm a little more loose around art. I guess maybe when I first got here, I was a little too anxious to fit in and, be accepted. Well, what's my advice? I say just don't let yourself get stuck in any positions where you don't feel comfortable. Like me on camera.
So freight train, blow your whistle as you travel on down the line. I'm going away, I'm leaving today. Yes, I'm going, but I ain't coming back. Well, I'm going, but I ain't coming back. That'll work.
Thanks. Yeehaw, Kitty. Kitty went right to sleep on that. I can't believe this cat is laying this close to this banjo and not freaking.